Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to solve a numerical based upon the design of welded stiffened seated connection. So let's start. The problem statement says that design a welded stiffened seated connection for an ISMB 350 mm depth at 514 Newton per meter strength, which is transmitting an end reaction of 320 kN because of the factored loads to a column section of Indian standard heavy beam of 300 mm depth at 576 Newton per meter strength. The steel elements which are to be used for the connection, they are made up of Fe410. So that means the data that has been given to us, first of all we will write that down. So the ultimate stress of the material that has been given to us as 410 megapascal, and corresponding to it the yielding stress will be 250 megapascal. Similarly, the other factor, because here we need to design for the welded connection, therefore the partial factor of safety for the shop welding, whenever it is not mentioned that it is the field welding, we will assume that it is the shop welding, and for the shop welding partial factor of safety is 1.25, while for the field weld it is taken to be equal as 1.50. Now the other parameters which will be useful to us, that is the epsilon, that is given by square root of 250 divided by Fy, and since the value of Fy is also equal to 250, that means the value of epsilon that we are getting here, that is 1.0, and the partial factor of safety for the material, that is given by 1.10. Now the other properties related to these two sections that we are connecting, that is ISMB 350 and ISHB 300. Corresponding to these two sections, we are having the width of the flange, thickness of the flange, thickness of the web. These are the three important parameters that will be related to us, and the root radius of the section. So this value is 140 millimeter, while the ISHB, for this the width of the flange is 250 millimeter. All the dimensions are in millimeter. This is 14.2, this is 10.6, while the next values are 8.1 and 7.6 millimeters. So these are the values for the different sections, and the root radius is given by 14 millimeter. These are the sections properties that are taken directly from IS handbook number 1. So corresponding to these sections, we are having properties written down there, so we will directly choose it from there. Now whenever we are providing a seating angle, so the width of the seating angle, this is usually this width, or that may be known as the length of the seating angle, that is into the paper. So this length of the seating angle, that is usually taken as equal to the width of the flange. So that is equal to width of the flange, and width of the flange is 140 millimeter. So that's why we will take it as 140 millimeter. Now the bearing length, as we have done in the other problems also, the bearing length of the seat has to be found out. That means the length on which the load must be acting, a length that must be available for the transfer of the load, that is known as the bearing length, and that is given by the end reaction divided by the yielding stress divided by the factor of safety for the material, that is gamma m naught. Now since from the first term we are getting the area, now we need to divide it by the thickness of the web. So from here, if we put down all the values, this R is 320 kilonewton, that is 320 into 10 raised to the power 3, divided by 250 divided by 1.10 into the TW value is 8.1 millimeters. So from here the value that we are getting, that comes out to be 173.82 millimeters. Now since these connections that we are providing here, they are the flexible one, therefore we will also provide a clearance or the gap between the column and the beam, therefore providing a clearance of 5 millimeter. Therefore the required length of outstanding leg, that will be 173.82 is the minimum length which is required for the bearing action, while 5 mm is the length that we have provided as the clearance. That means this is the minimum length which has to be provided for the seating angle. Now based upon this, we will choose a suitable section. So let's say we are providing, because this is the required length, therefore we are providing a seat angle, or we are providing seat plate of 180 millimeter length. So this is the length of the seat plate. Now we will choose the width of the seat plate corresponding to these sections. So since whenever we are designing the stiffened seated connection, the width of the seat plate that we are providing, this is the width of the seat plate, that must be greater than the width of the beam flange, and that was is equal to 140 millimeter. That means the higher section from here, that we will be choosing as the width of the seat plate. Therefore the width of seat plate that we are choosing, that is equal to 160 millimeter, because that is higher than this 140 millimeter value. And the last parameter required for the seat plate, that is the thickness of the seat plate. So this thickness of the seat plate, that should not be less than the thickness of the beam flange, that is TF value. Now this TF value was 14.6 millimeter. That means now this TF value was 14.2 millimeter. That means this thickness of the seat plate, that must be greater than 14.2 millimeter. Therefore the next section that we are having, that is of 16 millimeter. Therefore what we will do, we will provide a seat plate. Therefore we will provide a seat plate of 180, that was the length, 160, that was the width, and the thickness is 16 that we have taken. Therefore we will provide a seat plate of 180 by 160 by 16 millimeter in size, and that is the seat plate design. Now we will choose the suitable stiffening plate. Now for the stiffening plate, so this is the seat plate that we have chosen, that is of 160 by 16 millimeter, that is this value. Now that is when we are seeing from the right side, from the, let's say if this was the connection, and here we are providing the seat, and this is the stiffening plate. So if we are looking at this direction, then we will be getting this picture, that is the full width of the seat plate and the thickness, while the length of the seat plate is into the paper, that is this value. This is 180 millimeter that we have chosen, that is required for the bearing. Now for the stiffening plate, of this thickness of this stiffening plate, if this is thickness of the stiffening plate, that should never be less than the thickness of the web, and the thickness of the web was 8.1 millimeter, that was directly from the Indian Standard Handbook. Therefore we will again provide the higher size, and the higher size that is available to us, that is 16 millimeter, and 16 millimeter we are also providing because of the uniformity in the section that we are providing. Therefore the stiffening plate will be of 16 millimeter thickness. So this is the stiffening plate that is provided in this direction. So the thickness of this stiffening plate is also 16 millimeter. Now we need to calculate the end reaction. So this was the length which was required for the bearing action, that was 178.82 millimeter. Now the reaction, whenever we are designing this stiffened threaded connection, that acts at the center of this bearing length, while the plate that we have provided, that is of 180 millimeter length. This is the 180 millimeter length. That is the actual seat plate that we have provided, while the required length was 178.82. Now we need to calculate the distance of the reaction from the end of the seat plate. Therefore the distance of end reaction from the end of seat plate, that is given by, total distance is 180 minus this distance has to be subtracted, and that is half of the 178.82 divided by 2, and from here value that we are getting, that is 90.59 millimeter. That is the value of the end reaction. Now based upon this we will calculate the bending moment. Now this bending moment is basically the end reaction into the perpendicular distance, and that is 90.59. So from here the value that we are getting for the bending moment, that comes out to be 28,988.8 kilonewton millimeter. Now the depth of this stiffener plate, this depth, this is to be chosen from the buckling criteria. Depth of stiffener, it is based upon the buckling criteria. So the buckling criteria, it says that the D by T ratio, that is the depth to the thickness of the stiffener, it should never be less than equal to 18.9. Now from here, this D is less than 18.9 into the thickness that we have provided for the stiffener, that is 16 millimeter. So that means this D value, that is the depth of the stiffener, that should be less than 302.4 millimeter. Therefore, we will provide a depth of 300 millimeter. Therefore, we have also chosen the stiffener plate for the connection which is having a depth of 300 millimeter. So this is the depth of the stiffener, that is 300 millimeter, while the width of the stiffener is also 16 millimeter. This is the thickness. So now we will choose the welding connection, and the welding that we are providing, that is provided along these lengths that I'm highlighting. This is the length along which the welding has been done. So the CG of the weld group, that has to be calculated, and after that the moment of inertia of the weld group has to be calculated. Now for this we are assuming that the thickness of the welding section, that is a unit width. So assuming unit weld thickness, we will calculate the y1 bar value. This y1 bar is the distance of the weld group, that is the CG of the weld group from the bottom of the seat plate. Now for that we will take the required length, because 300 millimeter welding has been provided on both the sides of the stiffener. So 2 into 300 into the half of the distance of it, that is 150. And if we are taking directly with respect to the top value, that means this is the seating plate and these are the stiffener. This is the stiffener. Now the welding has been done along these lengths. Now if we are taking this value with respect to this one, so the welding has also been done here. So along this dotted line, the distance, perpendicular distance, will be 0. That's why we are not taking that. So if we want to write, that will be 160 minus 16 into 0, because that is the perpendicular distance, divided by this total distance is 2 into 300 plus 160 minus 16. So from here the value that we are getting for y1 bar, that comes out to be 120.96 millimeter. So that means this CG of the weld group from this dotted line, that is 120.96. Therefore from the bottom, that will be 300 minus 120.96. So this will be y2 bar, that is 300 minus 120.96, and that comes out to be 179.04 millimeters. Now this Ixx value, that means if this is the CG, that is along XX line, so this Ixx, this will be given by the area of the weld group. Now since BDQ by 12, the unit thickness has to be taken, that's why we are ignoring that. So that directly AY bar, that is area, is 160 minus 16 into unit thickness, that is 1 into the perpendicular distance from the CG, that is 120.96, its square, plus twice the value of this depth, that is 300 square divided by 16, plus, because both the sides are being taken here, in plus 2 into 300 into, that is the area, into, that is 1 will be perpendicular distance, into 2 into 300 into 1, that will be the unit thickness of the weld. So from here we are getting the area into the perpendicular distance. So perpendicular distance for these vertical lines, that will be 179.04 minus this 300 by 2, that is the perpendicular distance of the actual position of the CG. So from here, this Ixx value that we are getting, that is this moment of inertia of the weld group, that comes out to be 262.41 into 10 raised to the power 4 square millimeter to that is millimeter to the power 4. Now from here we will calculate the vertical shear and the horizontal shear, and based upon that we will find out the resultant stresses. So the vertical shear, the value that we are getting here, that is for the unit thickness. Therefore it will be vertical shear per unit thickness, that is in millimeter. So from here the value that we are getting, that is denoted by Q1, and that is the end reaction, that is 320 kilonewton, divided by the area which is transmitting this, that is 2 into 300 plus 160 minus 16. So that value comes out to be 430.10 Newton per millimeter. That is the strength of the weld in the vertical direction, that is vertical shear. And also we are taking these distances. So I'm again highlighting it. So this is the kind of T section here. So the welding has been done here. So we are taking these values as 2 into 300, that is the perpendicular distance, while 160 minus 16 is this distance. We are ignoring this distance because this welding which is provided here, that is the result of the end return. That means whenever we are doing the welding, we extend it up to certain extent so that there is an abrupt ending for the welding part. Therefore we are just extending, and because of the lesser thickness here, that is a result of the end return. That's why we are ignoring it. Now we will calculate the horizontal shear, and based upon these two shear values we will calculate the resultant force. So this horizontal shear per millimeter length, that is denoted by Q2, and that will be again the bending moment, that was the 28988.8, that was kilonewton millimeter, that is into 10 raised to the power 3 into y bar, that is 120.96, divided by Ixx. So that value was 262.41 into 10 raised to the power 4. So this Q2 formula is m into y bar divided by this I value. So from here this Q2 value that we are getting, that is 1336.26 Newton per millimeter. So the resultant, so these resultant are, this is the horizontal and this is the vertical value. So the resultant value, that is again calculated based upon the cosine law, but because the theta angle is 90 degrees, that means the last term for the cos theta value, that will be 0. Therefore this QR, that is the resultant value, is directly given by Q1 square plus Q2 square, its square, because that is the perpendicular, and these two forces Q1 and Q2 are at 90 degree to each other. That's why directly resultant will be taken based upon the Pythagoras theorem. And from here if we place this Q1 and Q2 value here, that is 430.10 its square plus 1336.26 its square. So from here if we take the square root of these values, that comes out to be 1403.7 Newton per millimeter. Now we need to equate this resultant with the actual capacity of the weld. That means how much capacity of the weld is having. Therefore this QR is to be equated to the weld capacity, and that is given by Ks. This is the Ks value, that is depending upon the constant value, that is depending upon the angle between the different members that are to be welded together into the capacity, that is Fu by root 3 divided by the partial factor of safety for the welding. Now this K is to be taken as equal to 0.7 for 90 degree welding. Therefore this QR that we were getting was 1403.77, that is equal to 0.7 into S, that is the size of the weld, has to be calculated. This Fu value, that is 410 for the material to be connected, divided by root 3 and divided by 1.25, that is the partial factor of safety for the shop weld. Now from here the size of weld that we are getting, that comes out to be 10.59 millimeter, and which is roughly taken as equal to 11 millimeters. Therefore we will provide an 11 mm weld, and for the connection we will also provide a top cleat angle, that means the angle which is provided above the beam flange. So this was the beam flange. We have provided one seat plate here, and to stiffen it, what we have done, we have provided a stiffener here. Now for the nominal purposes, we will also provide a cleat angle at the top. So this is the cleat angle which is provided at the top of the flange of the beam. This is the seat plate and this is the stiffener. Therefore, looking at the diagram, now this is the actual beam which is connected to the column flange. This is the I section that is connected to the column flange. Now below this we have provided the seating plate. So this is the seating plate which I am highlighting with the yellow color. Now to stiffen it, what we have done, we have provided the stiffener of 300 millimeter depth so as to increase the connection with the column flange. So this is the stiffener which is provided. So a top cleat angle which is of nominal size of 100 by 100 by 6 millimeter, that is provided at the top and which is again fillet welded at the two ends, that is of 5 mm size of the fillet weld. And this is the ISHB 350 section, that is the beam section, while this is the column section of ISMB 300. Now this 160 by 16 millimeter of seat plate that has been provided here at the top, which is again highlighted by the red color, and in this it is shown by this yellow color. That is from the front view. If you are looking at this diagram from this side, then you will be getting this view. And this stiffener plate is of 300 millimeter depth and of 16 millimeter thickness that has been provided here, and that has also been welded with the column flange at this point. So that completes the design of the welded tip and fitted connection. Now in the next problem we will be looking at the welded type bracket connection. So thank you.